Reddit asks, what is an unspoken rule of the bro code? A bro should never, under any circumstances, sleep with another bro's ex-girlfriend. A bro can try to hook up with someone another bro rejected, but only after asking for permission. If the bro rejects your invitation, you must yield to his wishes and look for a new one. Don't tell your friend that he's already told you this story before. It's hard enough sharing things with friends, so don't be a jerk. Be patient with your brothers. Sometimes that's all they're looking for. If you are going to point out a story that has been told before, use one of these more polite forms. That's a classic. It sounds better the second time. Or if they realize they've already told this story, I wasn't going to point it out. I was going to let you finish. The correct urinal is the one furthest away from the others. If none are in use, it's the one at the end. In times of conflict, adjacent urinals may be used, but they are used in silence, contemplating one's own ablutions. You might be shy about peeing, your neighbors might be too. Both of you might pee like fire hoses. No words, and no looking sideways. Nicknames are sacred. They must be given by someone else. Rarely does someone give themselves a nickname unless it fits them well and others around them validate it by calling them by a self-proclaimed nickname. It can be earned through reputation, actions you consistently perform, or a unique incident that will never leave you. If your bro is on a date with a new girl and you are in a group, help him out by asking about the things that make him special. Hey, bro, are you going to be a ski instructor again this year? Dude, are you still playing the guitar? Let's give him the chance to shine and be modest while talking about himself. If there is something that can be tossed or thrown, we will do it instead of carrying it to the trash or the garbage can, etc. This can end up becoming competitive. As a bro, you must accept the following conditions. A bro's sister is off limits, but not his stepsister or half-sister. Your bro's mothers and daughters are also off limits. Cousins and family friends are allowed. Ex-girlfriends are off limits for the same number of weeks as the months they were together. Unless the bro who dated the girl gives explicit permission to the other bro who wishes to date, see, go out with, hook up with, or woo her. Never compete with a friend for a woman's attention. It doesn't matter if she flirts, if she laughs with you, or if she seems interested. If you know he likes her, you take a step back. It's not discussed, it's done. He who ignores that line ends up alone. It's not about morals, it's about instinct. Among men, shared interest becomes poison. Elegance lies in withdrawing without making a noise. If I happen to be walking somewhere at night, like a supermarket parking lot, and I'm behind a woman, I always shuffle my feet or something so she doesn't get scared by a man suddenly appearing. Since I walk fast, I usually slow down so she doesn't think I'm trying to overtake her. Women are full of these little panic attacks for safety, and as a man, I try to do everything possible not to provoke them. Have you ever seen a guy doing the old leg movement with a strange, intense expression on his face? Yes, he's unsticking his balls from his leg. We all know what's happening, but suddenly we go blind. Honestly, even when someone appears and puts their hands down there to make some manual adjustment, suddenly we don't see anything. Never start a conversation in a public restroom. That only makes things worse. Don't be that guy. Unless you know it's just the two of you in that bathroom, keep the conversation brief. Approximately the same time it takes to wash and dry your hands. No longer than that, nor waiting for them to finish doing their business. Usually, guys try to involve others in problem solving unless they can't solve them on their own. So when a buddy comes to you with a problem, it's considered an honor to help him solve it, unless it's obvious he didn't try from the start. In that case, he's just lazy. If they are good friends, usually the one asked for help is obliged to make fun of the first one for not being able to do it alone. A raised eyebrow and a look to the side can convey more information to a friend in a couple of seconds than in a few minutes of conversation. If a bro is about to cheat on his partner, you can intervene once. If he is sober enough to stand up, look you in the eye, and tell you to off, you're clear. You tried. If he is too drunk, get him out of there before he does something stupid that you can stop. You don't fight drunk with a friend. It doesn't matter who started it. If there is drink involved, it doesn't count. You can shout, push, even insult each other. But if it was in the middle of a bender, it's erased the next day. Pride is put away. The rule says that the next day a joke is made, a handshake is given, and that's it. I saw years-long friendships break over things said with a loose tongue. Those who understand the code know not to look for coherence in a drunk man. You have to know when to fight and when to shut up. Respect boundaries. If a friend tells you he doesn't like you talking about his family, referencing the time he got a speeding ticket, or whatever, listen to him. Those who have the courage to tell you where their limits are deserve to be heard, so don't ignore it when a bro tells you he doesn't like something you do. If a bro's girlfriend calls you and asks about what he did the night before, for example, if he says he slept at a friend's house, you will always say yes, he was there, and you could even say he is still there. Studies show that 8 out of 10 bros do this without thinking. The other 2 said he was still with them but wasn't available to talk. He's in the bathroom is the best possible excuse. If he is playing video games, technically you can interrupt him with a, "Hey, your girlfriend wants to know what time you'll be home," which can turn into phone porn, but when you say he is in the bathroom, it gives you enough time to contact him and explain the situation. And when the woman asks to speak to him, you respond with a, "I never talked to a man in the bathroom." Never ask how much something cost him. That is law. You can compliment the watch, the car, the jacket, but never ask the price. It is almost offensive among men. If someone bought it, we assume they could. Even if we know he paid for it in 12 installments, no one says it. There is a kind of silent respect. If someone treated themselves, it is celebrated, not questioned. Once a friend broke the rule and asked about the price of a chain. There was an uncomfortable silence, one of those that seem eternal. Since then, we tease him with, "And how much did it cost you, accountant?" He learned fast. In the bro code, money is not asked about, it is presumed without speaking. If you are in a group of bros and one of them makes a very funny joke, but only you hear it, instead of repeating the joke and potentially taking credit for it, show your crazy appreciation for the original bro's joke and insist that everyone hear him tell it. When your bro feels isolated and alone, bros reach out and call or text him every day to make sure he is okay. Brothers bring food to other brothers when they feel depressed. If your friends help you move, you are expected to already have everything packed and provide pizza and soda. I hate the number of times I've gone to help my friends move and they have nothing packed or enough boxes. What should take a couple of hours turns into an all-day marathon. As a weightlifter, and I've brought some of my other male friends and 2 female friends into the group, you never, ever disparage another person's weight on any lift. If your friend weighs 250 pounds, 113 kilograms, and only bench presses 135 pounds, 61 kilograms, but he is trying his hardest, then do nothing but shout intensely at him to encourage him. The rule in my basement is, everything is heavy for someone. As long as you try your best, the number is irrelevant. We need time for ourselves. We don't want you to be with us every time we do something. This is the only reason my ex and I broke up a few years ago. I just wanted to play cards with my friends without her grounding me. She would literally sit there and ground me. Imagine it. Be afraid. If you know a guy's girlfriend or wife is cheating on him, tell him. It doesn't matter if you barely know him. At least give him an anonymous tip. Just leave him a note or something. You don't even need to say where it comes from. Or take a $10 burner phone and send a text to the son of a B********, saying, "Your wife is cheating on you with Steve," and then he can do what he wants with that information. I took some friends to the gym to teach them how it works, and always, regardless of gender, they say they are nervous or weak, but it is the way. as if I hadn't started lifting the weight I lift now. And I am proud and support anyone who tries to progress in any activity, but especially in those that interest me. His child is your child, no matter what. My best friend lost his life a few months before his daughter was born. I keep in touch with the baby's mother. And on Mother's Day, I bought her flowers, a gift for the girl, and spent a couple of hours with her. I didn't post it on Facebook because I think it's silly, and I only say it here so it's clear. If a best friend is practically a brother, do what he would have done if you could. If you see another bro crying, don't make fun of him, nor tell other people you saw your bro crying. Also, if you and your bro are the last two people standing after a party and start having very deep conversations about life, keep it between the two of you. You will never reproach a bro for his duties as a wingman. When you are hitting on a girl, I don't care how unattractive the friend she is with is or how bad her flirting technique is. When he is distracting the air defenses to give you a clear path to the target, you don't insult his ability to fly. The last slice of pizza or the last soda is always for the one who paid for it. If everyone pitched in, they don't have to ask, but do say it. And never eat both in the same place, no matter what the previous rules say. Never touch the music in another person's car. I don't care how bad you think their taste is. If you know someone else had an affair they regret, no, you don't know. Not even if you fight and become enemies, you don't remember it. Brothers before hoes, but not before wives. Sure, it's a drag when a friend has to stay home from camping on the weekend, but if his wife is sick and they have a 3-month-old baby, it's probably better for him to prioritize his family's interests over yours. An acquaintance is getting married soon, and his bachelor party was going to be last weekend. Well, his best man couldn't attend because his wife was 2 weeks away from giving birth, which everyone knew before the groom chose the date. So the groom scolded him and uninvited him from the wedding because he chose his wife and possibly the birth of his first child over camping by a river drinking. Bro, don't be like that. You must be mature in this life. If a bro is the designated driver, then all the other drinking bros in the group must hold him accountable for not drinking. And the designated driver bro is compensated with a meal or some kind of food bought for him by the drinking bros. A bro will not allow another bro to text his ex-girlfriend after he has been drinking. If a bro has no money and accompanies you to the bar, we encourage you to treat him to a drink with the promise that he will pay you back later when he is no longer broke. This creates a social network that ensures all brothers can drink at the bar. This concept is called social security. If a bro has gotten involved in a fight, you must support him regardless of the circumstances. When recounting the story of the night, it must be consistent with the narrative of honorable victory. If a bro has trouble with the police, you must insist on his sobriety. Rules for outdoor barbecues: a bro can help the bro cooking on the grill or smoker only if given permission. The bro who owns the appliance is supposed to cook. A bro's main job at the barbecue is to help entertain the cook while the food is being prepared. A bro must bring his own drink to these events. If other brothers run out and you are sober, offer to bring beer to unsuspecting bros unless you are the host. It is not acceptable for a bro to become incoherent at these gatherings. This is not a bar. This is your bro's house. Respect it and maintain it. If the host bro is married, a bro must compliment the wife on how nice the house is. A bro must leave at a decent time if the host bro has children. Among bros, you have to forgive everything, except disrespect to your girlfriend when drunk. This allows an immediate punch to the face, but only after all the other brothers have found out and are gathered to see the punishment. Before delivering the blow to your drunk bro, the situation must be explained to him. Since he is drunk, he will probably accept that he needs a punch. Article 11. A bro can ask another bro to help him move, but only after giving him an honest estimate of both the time and the amount of large furniture. If the bro has considerably underestimated either, his bros reserve the right to leave his belongings where they are, in most cases, stuck in a doorway. If someone is rude, hateful, or confrontational with one of your friends, defend him. Even if you don't say anything, stand behind his shoulder and let him know you are there. All brothers have a responsibility to look out for each other, so if you have a fight, don't chicken out. This doesn't mean you should start a fight. Don't aggravate things more than necessary. Honor your bets and debts. The bet is the cornerstone of contemporary culture, and you can tell a lot about a person by their behavior when they lose a bet. You always pay if a bet doesn't go your way, especially if you bet something other than money, like beer or something similar. In fact, if you owe someone something, it is important to always pay them back. Don't dodge your debts. Never interrupt a friend when he is telling something funny, even if you have already heard it. It is his story. Let him shine. We all have that friend who always tells the same joke, the same story from 2015. Leave him be, it's a moment. I learned that when a new guy in the group interrupted one of those stories and tried to tell it better. We all looked at him like, what are you doing? It is almost instinctive. If the anecdote already has an audience, don't interfere. In the bro code, there are unwritten turns to speak, and interfering in another's is worse than stealing his lighter. If you tell a bro you will do something, you must honor your word. As Scarface said, all I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. You never break your word. Your word, in a sense, is like the currency of your reputation. Brothers know who to trust and who not to. Word spreads. If you say you will pay a bro back, you must fulfill the IOU. Alcohol, marijuana, or pizza are acceptable forms of paying a friend back. If you say, I'll be there, you better move heaven and earth to be there. Uber, bus, train, ask for a ride if necessary. A handshake, a fist bump, or a brotherly hug. It is considered your tacit signature to guarantee you keep your word. Give support to your people. Give compliments as if you were a candidate. Tell your friends you like their clothes, highlight their new haircuts, and show affection when someone achieves something at work or school. Making people feel good is comforting, and showing affection to your bros is one of the best ways to make sure everyone feels good. Like your friends' posts on social media. Those little gestures mean a lot. Many guys find it hard to compliment their friends. By openly showing them love, you will calm that energy in your group and make everyone feel better. Regardless of whether a bro likes sports or not, a bro chooses a team and supports it until his last breath. Unconditional loyalty and commitment to any sports team are vital. Sports, besides video games and parties, is the best way to make lifelong friends. Even if said team is trash, you must support it. Betting on sports also helps maintain a strong connection with a specific team or players. Fantasy sports are an excellent way to stay in touch with others. It is a legal way to release accumulated competitive energy, sometimes violent, without hurting anyone. Never speak ill of another man when he is not present. If you have something to say to him, it is said to his face or not said at all. There is nothing worse than the guy who smiles to your face and criticizes behind your back. Everyone smells it, everyone notices it. In groups of men, there is something silent that separates the one who keeps his word from the one who hides behind gossip. Once I knew a guy like that, always smiling, always at all the gatherings, until one day someone heard him talking about another friend. No need to argue, he simply stopped being invited. The rule is simple, a loose tongue leaves you without respect. Treat your problems like an adult. A good bro never lets himself be carried away by his emotions, resorting to physical combat or extreme outbursts. If you have a problem with a friend, take him aside and speak to him calmly and respectfully. Violence between bros brings nothing good, so respect your neighbor by managing conflicts peacefully. It is okay to express your complaints if you are upset. In fact, it is healthy to resolve things if you have friction with a friend. Don't be ashamed if you have a problem with someone, simply handle it intelligently. The bro code lasts forever, it changes and evolves as life progresses. As I get older, one thing is for sure. Your bro calls because a major life event happens. Divorce, death of a relative, firing, bankruptcy, you are there with distraction. You might not even be on his side, but all those years of college and growing up watching over him outweigh everything. You can still reprimand him if he was an idiot and cheated on his wife, but do it with a bottle of whiskey and a couple of glasses. When a friend asks you to accompany him to something important, you don't ask what for. If he says, "Come with me," you grab the keys and get in. It doesn't matter if it's a move, an uncomfortable visit, or a weird favor. You go, because if he asked you, it's for a reason. Once a friend asked me to accompany him on a quick errand. We ended up picking up his ex from work after a fight. I didn't speak, I didn't opine, I just drove, and at the end he said, "Thanks, bro." That phrase summarizes the rule. No explanation needed, just presence. Never interrupt a guy when he is explaining something he is passionate about, even if you have no idea what he is saying. If he is talking about engines, guitars, soccer, or any topic that makes his eyes shine, you listen. You don't understand anything, but you nod. We have all been that guy. The important thing is not the topic, it's the enthusiasm. No one forgets the one who listened to him when he spoke with emotion. Cutting that moment is like putting out a campfire with cold water. During games or competitive sports, a bro can get angry with his companions, but once the game is over, everything is forgiven, and any negative comment must be accepted as the price for said negative comment. An angry bro can respond with appropriate negative comments, but it is not recommended. I guide myself by the human code. If you look homeless and hungry, I buy you food. If you drop something, I help you pick it up, even if you don't need it. I always let someone get ahead of me in traffic. If you start telling a story in a group and everyone starts talking over you, I ask, "And then what happened?" and I listen. Even if no one else does, I always leave public restrooms cleaner than I found them. My life motto is not to be a jerk, no matter the gender. Never talk to another man's woman about the problems he has with her. It doesn't matter if she seeks you out, if she seems innocent, or if you think you are helping, it is not done. It is crossing an invisible line that destroys any respect. It is an old, almost instinctive code. If something broke between them, it gets fixed or it ends, but you are not an intermediary. Getting in there makes you part of the problem. When a guy says, "Relax, I'll handle it," the worst thing you can do is insist. That phrase isn't literal, it's a pact. It means, I've already made a decision, even if I don't tell you. I learned that watching a friend solve his messes without asking for help, but also without rejecting it completely. It is a weird way of asking for respect. Don't bother him, don't question him, just stay close in case he fails. The code has a lot of that. Silent presence. There are things that are not fixed by talking, but by letting the other handle them in their own way. This applies mainly to young people who are still in high school. If you are with friends and you are going to buy a soda or something, you bring one to your friend who can't always afford it. Also for those who practice skateboarding, cycling, or any other similar sport. If your friend can't afford new parts but needs them, you give him some of your old stuff when replacing them if they still have some life left. I try to do this with bearings and very occasionally with decks, if they are in good condition, and with wheels. It helps maintain a good image in the sports community and helps people. When you visit someone's house and they offer you a beer, don't complain about the brand. If you know the beer your host prefers is something you completely detest, then bring your own drink or stay quiet. Related to this, he who arrives at a good friend's party without money is a bad man and should feel ashamed. The only exception is if the party is held in your honor. If your bro's partner tries to hit on you, you play along just long enough to get proof you can show him, ignore it, and let him know immediately. Always tell your bros if their partner is treating them badly, but get proof you can show them if possible. Love can blind you, but abusive partners can also numb the other senses. Be prepared to strive to get them out of that state. Never try to ridicule a friend in front of others, not for a joke, not to be funny, not to get an easy laugh. Respect between men is built with boundaries that are maintained even when there is trust. We all have a weak point, and using it to entertain others is a silent form of betrayal. Once I saw one do it at a gathering. He made fun of something his friend had told him in private. And although everyone laughed, the atmosphere became uncomfortable. Since then, no one trusted him with anything again. Humor between men has rules. You laugh with the other, not at the other. When a man trusts you with a secret, no matter how much time passes, that is kept forever. Even if you are no longer friends, even if he failed you, even if your pride boils, what is said between men is not repeated, not even as a joke. Once a friend told me something intense, one of those topics you don't even release to those closest to you. Years passed, and we drifted apart. One day someone mentioned the topic and asked me if it was true. I could have said yes, I could have gotten even, but I only replied, I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't for him, it was for me. Because there are things that if you break, they aren't fixed with apologies. Loyalty is measured in the silences you hold when no one else is watching you. There is much need for conversation between male friends and almost no need for displays of friendship. I picked up a friend at the airport. I hadn't seen him in 6 years. When I saw him, I said, "Hey, jerk." And he said, "You look terrible." Both phrases meant, "I love you." On the other hand, when a show of friendship is needed, like bailing your friend out of jail, it must be done immediately and before anything else. When he gets out of jail, you can tell him something like, "That's great. Funny story. An old drinking buddy of mine, let's call him McWilson, taught me something I feel I should share. Always use the same fake name and number when hitting on someone at a club. That way, if you ever run into them somewhere else, you'll know under what circumstances you met them, and you can always claim you changed your number or changed your name." However, this advice came back to haunt him when, in the middle of a prank war, I decided to change my pickup name to McWilson, for this example, and started giving out his real phone number as my fake number. When guys arrive at a bar or a big party, the first thing they do is instinctively observe the place for potential troublemakers. Usually, the telltale sign is a loud, boisterous person drinking heavily. Once spotted, all the guys present keep an eye on him throughout the night. Often, in the presence of such a troublemaker, you see guys making eye contact and nodding to other guys they have never seen or met. This is the silent way we say, "If this idiot starts something, I've got your back." There are times when a man doesn't need advice, but to be listened to without judgment. It's not about fixing his life, but letting him get the weight off his shoulders without being measured. I learned this with a friend who was going through a divorce. Everyone gave him advice, told him what to do, who to talk to, how to act. One day he sat with me in the car and said, "I just want to talk without being corrected." And that's what we did. We talked for 2 hours about anything but that. Sometimes real help isn't giving an opinion, but being there as if nothing were happening. Among men, understanding isn't given with words, it's given with presence. If you encounter a family member, a close friend, or a colleague's partner and that person needs your help in any way, it is your obligation to do everything possible to help. You are their bro by proxy in that situation. For example, once I saw my friend's girlfriend at a bar, and her friend had left her alone. She was drunk and not thinking clearly. She didn't usually drink and was upset about something. I went to find a female friend, and we took her home. She felt sick, so we put her on the living room sofa and watched over her until the early hours of the morning. In the end, she recovered. My friend thanked me with a steak dinner and a beer. You get extra points if you talk about how great your bro is while offering to help her. If you see a bill of about $20 on the ground, it's yours. If it is higher, you have a moral obligation to look for the owner before keeping it. If it is higher, you have a moral obligation to turn it in at the nearest business. Once I found $50 in an empty parking lot, with no one around, and I still went into the nearest restaurant and told the woman at the counter. It turned out there was a man who had entered 5 minutes before, and when he went to pay, he was surprised to see he was missing $50 from his wallet. The woman accompanied me to his table, and the guy felt so relieved that it made my day, even though at that time I was living day to day. Probably one of the best things I've done. I don't know if it's specifically a bro code thing, but my best friend from high school and I no longer live near each other, so we have this kind of end a phone call without asking questions rule where if we are talking on the phone and one of us reaches a destination or has to go back to work or something, then we simply say, "I gotta go," and the call ends almost immediately, and no one gets offended, etc. This has allowed us to keep in touch with each other much better than with other friends and acquaintances and even family, because that thing never happens where you see a call coming in but are reluctant to answer it because, you know what? You only have 5 minutes or you just don't feel like having a long conversation or whatever. And then where you normally would have skipped the call and because of being busy maybe not talk at all for a long time, with this rule you can make a quick call just to check in or have a brief funny conversation and then hang up when you need to without any pressure to catch up and cover months of life events, etc. It is not something exclusive to men, but rather for men. There are 3 advantages to wiping the seat in a public restroom with toilet paper. 1. You confirm there is toilet paper available. 2. You clean any trace of the person before you. 3. After cleaning the seat, throw the paper into the toilet. By depositing it, the impact will be softened, making the experience quieter. When your friend is starting a new business, never ask for a discount. Here in my country, people are so used to asking friends and family for favors. I feel bad, especially for those I know who nervously went from being corporate slaves to finally starting their own business, when they are asked if the buyer can pay the price before profit instead of the full sale price, since they are close friends or family. Over time, when the business prospers, it is most likely that they themselves will offer the discount. That is when you take advantage of it. Guys, don't talk about serious things and never enter a friendship expecting it to be normal. We make dumb jokes, develop memes within the group, make fun of each other, pretend to be more manly than we are, and will do stupid things together. However, on the rare occasions when a guy opens up about his true feelings, problems, or really needs help, even if the problems are absurd from your perspective, stop joking, and if you can help, do it. Even if it is to relieve his stress or just listen to him. With so much toxic masculinity, when someone asks for help, you jump on it and help. Friends, over anything. The hierarchy of bros starts from the bottom with the randoms. A random is the lowest level within the bro code, also called simply the code, and anyone below that rank receives no recognition or protection from the code. To ascend, one must respect the code even in the most difficult situations. The level above random is bro. Becoming a bro is simple. It is enough for a friend to entrust a secret and the aspirant to keep it without questioning it, whether true or not. It is the most common rank, as reaching higher ranks is much more difficult. To reach the level of Supreme Bro requires patience, discipline, and consistency. A bro can only be elected Supreme Bro if he has not infringed any part of the code during the last year. There can only be one Supreme Bro in each group of bros that meets regularly, and he must be treated with respect due to how complicated his position is. If a dispute arises over whether an act infringes the code or not, a council formed by at least 3 elected bros is convened, excluding the accused and the affected. The decision is made by majority. Once a year, all members of the councils of the previous year meet together with the most respected and accessible Supreme Bro to review all previous decisions. Decisions made during this event, called Judgment Day, become final after 7 days. All can be appealed within that period, except when extenuating circumstances exist, in which case the period is extended indefinitely until all affected bros can present their appeal. Such circumstances include, among others, imprisonment, loss of consciousness, or inability to communicate the appeal to the other brothers. And thank you very much for watching the video, friends. Remember, you can comment stories you have regarding this question and comment which was the story that impacted you the most. Remember to leave your like, subscribe, comment, and share the video so YouTube recommends it to more people. XD.